And we're live. Rock and roll. Today is October 23rd, 2024. Joey and I are going to go through the state of the networks for Deep. And actually, I'll go through them, and then Joey's going to show us some rad stuff with this off-grid thing he's been working on. Okay, so top of the hops. What is it? Onakoi. Nope. Let me see if I can think that. There we go. They started up their Fuel the Future campaign. You can check out their Discord to earn more and earn Bono tokens. I just put up a post on Onakoi on the GK blog. There's a link down in the description. And then today is GNSS day, so that's just pretty cool in general. In fact, right after this call, I'm working with them to see how well I can assess whether or not my non-penetrating roof mount is wiggling, like if it's wiggling a millimeter, centimeter, whatever, and doing that by using the internal fucking software magic of the station. So kind of a cool thing.
Oh, they can tell you that. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see how much we can do. What's up, Kevin? Okay, Anyone stuff. They had this giant state of anyone yesterday on an X Spaces. The incentivized testnet is live. They're doing this big security audit. They've got an app coming soon. I think the big news was that this SDK is coming. So if you want to build on with whatever, anyone, you'll be able to do that pretty soon. Helium has got a... No, it's not Lone Star. Not these guys. Let me see if I can get the right fucking background. Let's see, there we go. So Helium's got a ton of news. The monthly call was going to be today. It was rescheduled to next week, the 30th. The big one that I saw was this HIP 136. I was trying to read through and understand it, but it's this eliminate IoT rewards for redundant coverage. I'm not sure I totally get it or that it's totally appropriate for remote deployments, but it seems like for kind of remote off-grid deployments, it's going to be really good, but we'll see. I think for the 14 or less witnesses thing, if you've got a Helium hotspot, there's no change. So if there's less than 14, like there's no difference. If there's more than 14, what this thing will do is try and get rid of Helium hotspots that are in the same general location in that area, I think. So
yeah, it's a nuanced one. So yeah, you guys definitely read up on it.
Yeah, no, I've got to do some more. Let me see if I can put my glasses on so I can get the right backgrounds here. Hivemapper had a giant town hall yesterday, day before. Big points were global expansion, so the usual stuff. They talked about Token 2049, the dynamic rewards and decentralization. So good to see them moving towards decentralization and having a plan for that. Talked a bunch about the B dash cam, reducing the need for cloud storage. There's some extra features it has. I thought this was pretty cool, is that the extra details it'll be able to see are stuff like construction zones, cool tolls, whatever. But bridge clearance is like, oh, cool. Like I'm sure that's already kind of in the infrastructure map somewhere, but that's kind of cool. And then the B will have its own map. They're running a event in December in San Francisco. I think I ran their December event in San Francisco 2 years ago, so that should be pretty cool. And then they're making map data products more friendly, usable. I found them super easy to use, but I'm not an enterprise user. For me, it was just like drop some tokens and get people to go take pictures of the space. That was wicked easy.
Yeah. It's actually really easy for anyone to hop in there now. Like, I encourage folks watching this to kind of go poke around because it's cool to put like a boost on a friend's house or something. Like,
yeah, it was super easy to use. Let's see. They talked about LTE and versus Wi-Fi. The LTE, the B may earn more rewards, but it'll depend on connectivity and all the usual stuff. Basically, if you do a better job, you'll probably earn more. And then they said they're going to enhance their AI capabilities. I also have been enhancing my AI capabilities because Monstro went down the other day and I had to get it back up. So I'm fucking psyched to bring it back on. Let's see. In demo news, I should have Kevin, we should do a cool background for Monstra because I've got some stuff I want to work on with that, which is my mega AI machine. Let's see. Demo's app went down. They got it back up on Google Play. So if you saw that, don't sweat it. As always, they're building super hard. They've got this incoming upgrade for account management, which doesn't affect kind of people like me because I just have one demo. But for folks who have a ton of these different things, that should make it way easier. And then they're adding new signals, and signals are their nerd talk for like data streams. So I thought is like just not esoteric's not the right word, but stuff like RPMs, air leakage in a tire, driver requested torque to a tire, like all these kind of nerd things that are coming in for various VW. It says cards in the description, but it's actually cars or probably vehicles. All right. On Wingbit's side, they're launching this ambassador program. If you're way into Wingbits and you want to do it, you can go over to Discord and sign up. For Spexy, I think they're opening up new Spexigons to fly in Ottawa, which no one has ever heard of, in Seattle, a major American city. I fucking just can't resist the slamming the Canadians. I don't know why, because I really like Canadians, but it's fun just to fuck with them. I think there's about 2,000 spexagons in each place, and then there's still spexagons to be captured in San Francisco, Detroit, and Miami. So if you have a drone and you're in San Francisco, fly that sucker. Sourceful announced their first EU distributor, so that was pretty cool. If you're in the EU, you can go buy one and have it shipped right to you. WeatherXM, I think we talked about WeatherXM last time. You can pay in crypto. I just bought a weather station using crypto that I earn on my stations. That was pretty easy. There's a 10% discount on it, and they just partner with Helium Deploy, so the stuff will probably ship a lot faster. Although I don't know how you ship any faster than 3 days from Europe to America, so it's pretty good. Let's see. Nadix has got almost, nope, not DABA, but Nadix. It's got almost 100 million kilometers mapped, so that's pretty cool to see that. And then they're opening up this network laps thing soon, so jump on their Discord, learn more about that. I just released, I don't have a thing for this. Fuck, Kevin, I forgot about this. I just did an interview with this deep-in called Session, and Session has been around since 2018. They've been a deep-in since 2018, way before it was named. It's a secure messaging app. And I'm finding like all of my super secure nerd buddies are like, oh yeah, I already have that. I'm like, oh fuck, instead of Signal or Telegram or WhatsApp. But you can run your own node. It is complicated. I looked at it, I was like, I might wait for them to switch over. I think they're switching not to Solana, but to something else. Maybe they're just switching from Oxen to the Session token. Like it looked pretty fucking nerdy. Most stuff I don't mind doing, but I was like, dude, I don't have time to figure that out. But just kind of a cool thing for you to know about if you're in the deep in world. And then the almost last thing I've got is the Frodobots announced their Earth Mover Mini or Earth Rover Mini for $150. There's a link in the description to buy it. It's not an affiliate link. It just makes it super easy for you to find it. It's a much smaller version of what they had before. Yeah, neat stuff. And then A16 did a call out for Deepin, calling it a significant trend. So that's pretty cool to see those guys doing. I was fucking with them a little bit on Twitter Spaces. I don't think they know I exist, but it doesn't stop me from fucking with them. And then if you like all this stuff and like the graphics, make sure you check out Flywheel Systems, bottom right of my screen. Maybe it's the bottom left of yours. I'm not sure if this thing gets mirrored or not. But they are working super hard on raising Deepin and Web3 awareness with normal people and design and deployment. Time, that's all the news. Joey, what do you got? Show me this fucking rad thing.
All right. You had, if you saw my eyes darting around, it's because I'm messing around in Fusion 360 right now.
Oh, badass.
But yeah, so what was it? Was that a week ago that I showed off that 3D print and like the whole thing?
Yep.
So sent the parts off to Send Cut Send, which is a manufacturing house that does, turnkey stuff. So now I have this beast.
Let me see if I can make your part of this screen way bigger. Like,
oh yeah, there we go. And I'll scale off my little like blurry background thing because that's probably
there's a better way to do this. Hang on a second, Joey. Fuck this up a little bit. I think I can do it by going over here. And
I'm gonna disassemble this thing while you're going.
Yeah, we'll make this Joey's. And then we'll do this and get rid of that. Okay. Cool. Ed's asking, is that a perfect 360 mount for outdoor Wi-Fi? As a matter of fact, Ed.
It is, Ed. Relevant to your interests, I think. Okay, so kind of right off the bat, this is an outdoor hotspot. Normally, it's going to have all that sort of like bracket stuff on the back, sort of tweaking the angles and things like that. I opted to simplify that whole side of things. So this bracket just screws directly in here. Really solid. And then the intent here is that we could actually, this is all designed for this disaster recovery effort, right?
Yep.
So we could actually pre-assemble everything here, put them in the box like this. And then what you're looking for is you send out your thing. It's got holes in the top. Those drop right onto the studs, which easier said than done sometimes, but drop right onto the studs. That thing's not going anywhere already, right?
Dang, that's awesome.
So gravity's on there. The pole's on there. There's room for cables to run through. And then a couple of wing nuts on top, and this thing is totally locked in. So largely designed to be effectively toolless operation. And then, up here, you'll notice the trailer hitch pin. Oh, I'm hiding it from you.
Dang.
So again, you're putting this thing together without sort of any tools. You can sort of quick disassemble if you need to. Probably hurt myself here, but that's the whole thing. And then, $8 J-pull from Ubiquiti. So nice. I think we can get these things deployed in pretty quick fashion.
Dig it. So let's see, there's 3 constituent, I guess, parts to it, not constituent. So 3 parts. There's like the mount itself, and then there's the various outdoor hotspots, and then there's the pole. Is there anything else that you kind of need to actually deploy this thing?
So we're also putting a Starlink on the top of the thing. And that's kind of the backhaul side of it.
Okay.
Gluing all of this stuff together, there's a box down lower, which is... I'll grab one.
And do you need 3 PoE cables, or is there like a PoE, I don't know, aggregator splitter in there?
So yeah, there's this, which is PoE in and then 4 PoE out.
Oh, badass.
So
okay.
You can plug your Starlink in here. You can plug in 3 Helium APs, and then you need to power it somehow.
Nice.
So this part sits a little bit lower off of the tower, and then you're basically just doing your one backhaul. So I'll show you the ports on there. Yeah.
Oh, super cool. And that's just a Ubiquiti off the shelf, whatever.
Yep. Yeah, these are, $100. It's the Flex Mini, and the cool thing about these is you don't power these with a 120 volt. You power it with PoE++.
Yep.
And then you get PoE Plus out for all of your devices.
Super cool.
Yeah. So this kind of helps make the whole 3 together work. Yeah, yep. Ubiquiti.
And that's Ubiquiti, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then these things, we did an order. I think I've got 9 sets of them for these rigs that we're doing. But you could very easily take these designs and send them to Send Cut Send or any other house and get some of your own made. If we end up finding we have extras, maybe we'll do some sort of, giveaway or something like that. But generally speaking, this can be open source. And so anyone can jump in and edit the files. I designed it in Fusion 360. So if that's a comfort zone for folks, they could get in there and do the same thing.
Okay. And with SendCut, so what is the total cost minus the hotspots? Yeah.
So ordering as many as I did, you get volume discounts. And it was funny. I was right on the threshold of where if I ordered less, it got more expensive.
Yeah.
The unit cost, what was it? I think 67 or 76. I can't quite remember. It's in my head.
Per frame or per whatever.
Per rig.
Yeah, per rig. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So kind of comparable to what you might buy on Amazon or something like that. I was looking at some Starlink mounts that were $150, stuff like that. But yeah, ballpark 70 per rig. If you're ordering one, it's going to be more. I think they have some minimum order quantities and stuff like that.
Okay. So let's see. So the rig is 70, and then the PoE splitter magic thing is 100.
Yep. And then there's a flex. There's a box that we're plugging that into. That's $50. And then you have your Ethernet cables. The J-pole was 8. So, a couple $100 kind of all in. Okay.
And then the hotspots, of course.
Right.
So let's say, so without the hotspots, it's, what does it look like? This thing right here. So 70 plus 100, 170, 210 plus Ethernet, blah, 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 J-pole. So let's say fucking around is $300, $400 by the time you're done with shipping.
Yeah. Okay. I think that ballpark, that seems right. I've got a sheet somewhere that tracked everything, but yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you put the hotspots on it, and 3 of those is, that's the expensive part. Those are what, $800 each or something? For the outdoor?
What are they?
I think
they're 5, typically 5.
Are they 500? Okay.
Yeah. But there's sales and things that happen. I think they're
so let's say you got $2,000 and you want to, support some effort. $2,000 kind of gets this thing up and running.
Yep.
And then you got to figure
Yeah,
out
the
like,
target price right now, if an organization wanted to buy one of these things to like sponsor some, recovery effort, I think the target is about $1,800 with the Starlink, without the Starlink service. Kind of all in on that front, shipping and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put that. I think there's actually an easier way to do all this stuff, but this is super easy to me. Okay. Nice. And then does it matter what Starlink you have? I know you had like a mini last time, and I know Abaya has shown off some different things. I haven't paid that much attention. It seems like they have a mega and a mini option.
Yeah, I'm using the mini. It's nice and small, sort of fits on top. I haven't gotten my hands on anything else, so I can't really speak to what else would work nicely, but largely taking advantage of the top of pole mount because it sort of sits nicely on top of everything else that we saw.
Okay. What's up, Rob Putt? Hey, the actual swearing champion is in the house now. I can rest easy. All right, only possible uplink would be do fiber to the Ubiquiti gear, but Starlink doesn't have the SFP and jack yet. Huh.
That I don't even know if Starlink can go that fast, but if it does, I'm impressed.
Yeah. Well, Vortal is looking at your is doing Helium Cribs with Joey. He's like restreaming this to his Helium Cribs channel.
Good. There's going to be like a clip that like glues it all together one of these days.
Yeah. I got to figure out like where to put these comments, but yeah, nice work, dude. That's super, super cool. Is there a total weight to the whole thing? Like, can I put this on a 20-foot pole and it's going to work, or will I really need it? I'm assuming I'm going to really need to guide that down if I have a 20-foot pole.
I haven't weighed it yet. The outdoor hotspots are not light, right? They've got a bunch of aluminum heat sinks and stuff on them. The mounts themselves I did out of 3/16 aluminum, so they're relatively light.
Yep.
They could have gone steel or whatever, but I think it was actually more expensive in this case.
Yeah, and aluminum's like the other thing with aluminum is it's just if you've got woodworking tools, I'm sure the carpenters will hate me for saying this, but you can use them on aluminum.
You can, yeah. No, it's really nice, if you want to like go chamfer a hole or put an extra hole in a thing, you're not, burning through a bit or something. So
I mean, you might be, but
oh yeah, depends on your skills.
Chamfering, very fancy. Dropping some lingo there.
Oh yeah. Cool. So yeah, it's there's a couple little minor tweaks that I'd probably make, but otherwise these things I think are totally field ready. I'm going to do a couple of like 3D printed parts just to like soften some edges where we're running cables, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's looking good.
Cool. And then is there I would like to see like a power specs on that so that we can spec out the kind of minimum draw required. Because I saw there's some really cool things that Suburban was doing with like buying those old light poles, but I'm sure the DIY folks could say like, okay, if all I need is a solar panel and a 100 amp hour battery or 50 amp or whatever it is, that'd be nice.
Yeah, we're getting more feedback from folks that have done these early deployments, and I'll hopefully have some like cool numbers on that.
Okay.
At some point, we need to know, you've got usage when the thing's just sitting there. You've got usage when it's active.
Yep.
You've got usage when it's really active.
Yep.
So, on the upper end, these outdoor hotspots draw about 30 watts max. At least that's what the spec sheet says.
Yep.
But in practice, like it could be different. So we gotta get a better sense for that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
God, if only there was a deep in testing ground deep in the wilds of Arkansas where we could test this out.
Oh yeah.
So.
Right now we're largely trying to work with folks who are operating generators and then, get those out sort of set up. But
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's super cool, dude. That's good work.
Yeah. I was giddy when this package showed up yesterday. I was, running out to the FedEx truck.
What was the minimum quantity you had to order?
So SendCut Send's really generous. You can get a part for like $40.
Okay.
But that's like no bends, small, some aluminum, one piece, whatever. And it sort of ramps up from there. I could have done one set of these, but I don't. I'll figure out the price. I can probably figure that out right now.
Okay. I mean, was it like 10, 25 that you got to get to the $70 price? Like sets?
Nine sets.
9 sets.
So
okay, cool.
yeah, 3 of these, and then the 3 of these each per thing. So 27 of these, and then 9 of the top plates.
Okay. Yeah, 9 total sets. Okay, so I mean, I think the other thing is, and this is the capitalist in me, is that someone could buy 20 of those or like figure out the next level up of discounts and then resell them for whatever, slightly more. Maybe Helium Deploy does that like out of the semi goodness of their hearts, and also there's a little bit of profit in there and says like, hey, here's our emergency deploy kit. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even, I've seen people going and like creating rigs for 3 of these gateways. Like there's a lot of deployments that are 3 outdoor gateways.
Okay.
And so for those folks, like, remember the 0 layer guys? They were like, speed is everything, on these deployments. Like, that's kind of the bit of the mentality that I was going into with this. Is like, you shouldn't have to be carrying a bunch of tools up with you. You don't want like screwdrivers and wrenches and everything else. Like just get up there, throw the thing up, and kind of be done with it.
Yeah. I like it. Let's see, Rob, when are we doing an EW? Like whenever you want to come on, Rob, as long as you can not swear in the first 30 seconds, I think I'm pretty safe on the tubes.
Let me go.
But yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe God, I don't know if I can convince Lee that we need another 2 outdoor hotspots, but I would love to.
I can help.
That just looks super cool. I mean, maybe we think of a way where we show it off and it's not just something that, makes extra crypto for me, but we just say like, hey, this is a cool thing. And especially with Starlink, I've got an event on the 30th of October. That's a paragliding event down in this valley. They've got Starlink. That's a little bit too soon, but maybe like I'll think about some other kind of cool things. 'Cause that's like, it's such a rad thing to show off. It'd be neat to see that in real life.
Just realized my address is on there. I don't want to share that screen, but I put together an order with just one set of these things, and it's a lot higher. So 133 for like one set. So you're definitely looking at like discounts on quantity.
Oh, cool. Hold this thing up again because Shawnee's on. K38 Rescue just came in. Let me see.
Oh,
hang on, Sean. Let me put Joey back on solo mode.
Now that we've kind of disassembled the whole thing, but
yeah. So let's
get this in here a little bit more. Pin. So trailer hitch, so tool free as best as it can be. Get that lined up.
Yeah, so Shawnee, looking at these things, there's 3 of the different hotspots, so they're pointing in basically all directions. And then what Joey will show is that there's this cool little power consolidation piece down at the bottom, so you can plug in power to one unit. And then it's, other than Joey fiddling around on camera, like things never work on camera, but as soon as you get off camera, it'll instantly go.
This was 2 seconds before.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep. And then you're just
everything on one pole. Yeah.
Yep.
And then Starlink sits on top of here, sort of, clear view of the sky. And then you've got all of these radios pointing out at equal distance.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then is there anything in there on the IoT side, just for us nerds? I mean, I don't see it being super emergency, but
I was really thinking about how to fit something in here, and maybe that's a V2 thing, but I really liked the idea of, we've got all of these stories of people using the IoT network for refrigeration sensing or people tracking, things like that. I think it would be really cool to know that there is some sort of deployment of, a backup IoT network.
Yep. The other thing, Joey, and we've talked about this a long time ago, and it's totally like hand wavy pie in the sky shit, is Meshtastic. So if you could put Meshtastic on there as well. And I think when I was talking with Germ, it's like some fancy term multiplexing, where the same radio can do both Meshtastic and Helium.
Oh, on a concentrator.
On a concentrator, yeah. So you basically set up one antenna and then say, hey, I'll be this repeater for Meshtastic and also be a Helium IoT node.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
So,
I mean, you can do a Meshtastic node with like this. And I think it would be interesting. The thing that I was trying to think through is like, could we do one of the things that's helpful to know when you're deploying telco hardware is where the thing is. The telcos really want to know where these things are being activated.
yep.
And so could we do something that like plugs in over Ethernet, pulls a GPS location, shares that when it's been activated? Could it also do the Meshtastic node? Like, and that's something that like could be small, powered over the Ethernet PoE,
Yep.
and then live in that, that lower box. So
Yeah. Joey, a photo spread with stat sheet of that thing all wired up so we can do some promo for NGOs. Get on it,
totally.
Joey, because you don't have anything else to do. Quickly,
I do want to.
Shit.
I'm going to try and get down to my shop and at least set up one of these rigs with 2 hotspots on it and just, set it out, kind of knock it around, make sure it's doing what I hope it does. It, right now it's very much built around this J-pole. It's sort of using this pin and, pull size and all of that.
Yeah. That was the other thing we talked about, remember, with Shawnee, was putting on a weather station, because the local weather station was pretty important post-disaster, especially as I think it was more in the post-fire, but maybe it was also in the post-flood. 619 wants me to...
It's going to start looking like Ed's.
Maybe I will.
It's going to start looking like Ed's tower. Yeah.
Solar panel mount. So I think this was a separate thing, right? Joey, was that the power part was on the bottom?
Yeah, so let me pull out one of these boxes.
Although I guess you could put, because we all did this when we were doing the off-grids for Helium, is you could just put a pole mount solar panel in there, and depending on what it needed for power.
So this is the Ubiquity Flex box that I've kind of reconfigured for this use case. Here. So I've sort of pre-provisioned this one for power and everything, and then kind of repackaged it up. But the idea here is that...
Yeah. And what's the Ubiquity Flex? What's this thing?
So it's an outdoor box, and then it houses that other switch that I was showing you.
Okay.
Power.
Got it.
And so there's a power cable that I've got in the box here that you would plug into your 120 volt, your battery, your generator, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And then everything else. Oh yeah, mice is definitely gonna be a problem. All of your cables to your Starlink and your Helium radios would plug in here.
This is like your power management box, basically, is the way I'm thinking of it.
Totally. Power and internet all in one. So you're not chasing a whole bunch of different cables.
Yep.
So Starlink goes on number 1, 1, 2, 3, goes on your other radios.
Yep.
Everything's handled.
Damn. That's rad.
Yep.
I was actually looking for something like this, and I was like, I'm gonna have to build my own, but clearly I don't. Ubiquity's beat me to it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is what makes a lot of this work. So I'm really happy with this side of things too.
Super cool. All right, dude. I know for us, both you and I have other things to do at the bottom of the hour. We got 2 minutes left. Thanks a ton for coming on. Really good to see. I think we did all of the deep in news, and we did this rad outdoor thing. And we'll see what else we can do there. Shawnee's got some parting piece of advice: blue light and mothballs. All right.
Okay. Throw some mothballs in there.
Yeah. See what happens. Ripping, dude. Anything else that you've got that you're psyched on coming up in the next week? I know next week we're off because the Helium call has been shifted, but yeah. Anything else between now and then?
No. Keep an eye out. There's Twitter posts and all that other stuff. Try to sprinkle it through the week, but
okay.
Otherwise, always happy to jump on.
Rock and roll, dude. Good to see you.
All right.
We're out. Leets.
See ya.